Okay, just for you, special clippies right in the hair to hold everything back. Yeah. Starting with the brows, I'm going to go in with a nice cool brown, and I'm going to go in with a soft angled brush. What I mean by soft, if you can see, it's not super sharp. It's kind of fuzzed out. I want to make sure that my the line that I'm drawing on my brows is nice and diffused. I don't want them too angular or too harsh looking. So I always kind of start a little bit off from the beginning so that the edges of my brows aren't too intense. And then just kind of filling them in. Again, I want them super natural, nothing too crazy. Okay, so once you're done kind of filling in your brows, right now me and my eyebrows are in fights, please ignore them. I am going to prime my eyes with VS Pro Eye Primer. They have changed the packaging on this, so it doesn't look like this anymore. But they have a really great eye primer, and I really, really like it. So I'm just applying that all over the lid, and this is going to give your eyes, obviously, a base. Your eyeshadow, not your eyes. They don't really need a base. Then I am going to go in with my Urban Decay, and this is one of the big fat pencils in Rehab. And super simple, I'm just going to put this on the lid, almost like a kid coloring with a crayon. And I'm going to leave this spot right here a little bit more empty, so I've got a little bit of room to play with that. And then blending it out with a 217 just to fade out all those edges so that we don't have any harsh lines anywhere. Now I am blending it into the corner because I don't want a stoppage of color, but there's not a concentration of the product, which is nice, on that inside corner. And I'm really kind of grabbing the color with my 217 and pushing it around. If you do really, really light strokes and are taking your time, it will blend out, but it'll take you forever. So I'm putting a little bit more pressure on my eyelid. I'm not pulling my eye around, but I am putting a little bit of pressure on it. So then the next color that I am going to use is from the Dior Ready to Glow palette. So there it is. And I'm going to use this center color, which is, they're nameless, it's just the whole palette is Ready to Glow. Ready to Glow. Da-da-da. And I'm going to take a stiff brush and I'm going to pack this color right on the lid. This color is very similar to the one that we just put on. Just wait for it. I'm not just packing the same colors on and being like, and there's your look. All over, a little bit higher. Again, we can blend that out, so don't worry about it too much. And working this color all over that lid, making sure we have a nice saturation of color. Then you can take your 217 again and just blend those edges. We don't want any harsh edges anywhere. Don't worry about any fall down. We'll get that later. Just a good blending of the color. So not a lot of people think of wearing kind of gray and brown together, but this is something that I've kind of been doing over the summer and I've really been liking it. So I'm going to take the lightest gray shade, which is this one right here, and it's kind of like a purpley gray, and I'm just going to tap that right on to the center of the lid, and you can kind of see it gives that little bit of a shimmery shine. And I'm not being too neat and tidy with it, just kind of packing it on, and I'm not blending it out. So then the next color I'm going to use is the light pink. We're going to use the whole palette today, and just a regular eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to use that light pink right in the corner. And this is a cool pink, so the brown is nice and warm, and then they give you kind of the warm shades to work with. This is like an orangey color, and then this is your brown. So they give you warm and then they give you a couple cools, and I just thought, why don't we mix them all together right in that corner and just kind of blend it up a little bit. This is a pretty everyday wearable look. It's not too adventurous. Then I'm going to take the dark gray color and that same 217 brush, and I'm actually just going to pop the dark gray right on the corner and just kind of start building up that color. And having that nice warm brown underneath is going to help. If you're one of those people who can't pull off gray, I'm one of those people who, me and gray just don't get along that well because it makes me look really washed out. But having that brown underneath and the brown base kind of warms it up a little bit. So I'm just taking a 224 and I'm blending that gray up and out. And then I might go back in with a little bit more brown just to kind of warm it up a little bit. Just for my own, and it's just going to be a wash, a little wash of brown in the corners here, kind of creating a new shape, nice and high up to the brow. And we really are layering this color, so it's going to be a fairly big, bold, smoky eye, but fairly wearable as well. Sometimes I do that just to get all that color out of there. It seems to stick there sometimes. Then underneath the eye, I am going to do the nice warm brown shade in the middle. And I'm just going to pop it underneath, and I'm joining it just like that. See how I'm doing that? And then you're kind of building up the color right in that area. And then you can kind of circle it around just like that. It just makes it easy. Then we're just taking the bottom and feathering around the look to kind of give that drop down shadow effect all the way around the eye. Really blending those colors out. So then I'm going to use a product that I love, and it is the Smashbox Smoky Shadow Liner and or Soft Focus Powder Liner. And I'm just going to run this, it's gray, right along my lash line. And it's just going to give this incredible smoky effect. I'm going to wing it out just a little bit. And just kind of connect it at the corner to give a little bit of a flick, a little bit of something. A little something, something. I need to work on my lighting. Sorry about that. So then I'm just going to kind of clean up around the edges a little bit. I'm taking a fat brush like this and then the light pink color, and I'm just going to kind of run it, give it a little bit of a highlight, run it underneath the eyes, and kind of just clean it up, crisp it up a little bit so we've got a good blend of color and it looks neat, clean, and tidy. Sometimes when you're starting to mix colors a little bit, it can look muddy and messy. So I'm going to curl my lashes, put on my Dior show, and then I will be right back. Okay, so this is the finished look. I'm gonna get a little bit closer for you. And on my lips, I just used Estee Lauder High Gloss Ultra Brilliance Gloss, and the color is Blush. So it's just like a super neutral kind of color. So that is the look of the day. Enjoy!